You're watching ReeTV headlines. What is ReeTV headlines? It's where we take a look at the headlines in the mainstream media, of course. Duh! If you're new here, take a look at some of my playlists. Check out the JonBenet Ramsey series I've created, 7 episodes so far. If you haven't already, check out the Crocodile Tears series, and don't forget the exclusive content, True Crime Forum, and JonBenet Ramsey Case Archive on my website. The article we are going to look at today is from Insider and is regarding the social media influencer Alexis Sharkey, who was reportedly found dead and naked on the side of the road. Thanks to Willman Stan for the recommendation. This instantly screams Black Dahlia to me. Another script reused over and over. But hey, I'm just here to take a look at the news.
Thank you. Well, this morning, people across the country want answers in the sudden death of a popular social media influencer. Alexis Sharkey had been living here in Houston for less than a year. Michelle Choi has more from friends and the very latest on the investigation.
Hey, good morning. It's been 5 days now since Alexis Sharkey's body was discovered on the side of a road in West Houston. Since then, so many of you, her friends, family, and people from across the country have been paying tribute online to the social media influencer. Everyone anxiously waiting to find out what happened to her. One thing for sure, the 26-year-old was loved by a lot of people. She not only mentored thousands of followers on her Instagram page, but those close to her described Sharkey as someone who was full of life.
Everyone understands.
And a good friend.
You guys are missing out on like a true friend. She would have done anything for anybody.
So how does Sharkey end up dead? The medical examiner still hasn't ruled on her cause of death. We do know Sharkey moved to Houston with her husband back in January from West Texas. That's where friends say the two met. We've also learned he's the one who identified her body after it was discovered by a city worker on Saturday. Houston homicide detectives are now going through surveillance video found in the area, hoping it leads them to some answers. Meanwhile, Sharkey's mom has told us she doesn't believe her daughter's death was an accident, and neither do her friends.
Without a doubt in my mind, foul play was involved and this was a murder.
There was plans for a public memorial this evening to honor Sharkey, but it's being rescheduled. Guys.
So let's take a look at this Insider article. The headline reads, Houston influencer Alexis Sharkey was found dead and naked on the side of the road. Here's how the case unfolded. A 26-year-old influencer was found dead in Houston over the weekend. And then the main bullet points of the article read, Alexis Robinot, a Houston-based influencer also known as Alexis Sharkey, was found dead on the side of the road the weekend after Thanksgiving. Police said that she was found with no clothing and no visible wounds. Sharkey's mother previously told Insider that she believes that her daughter was murdered. Houston police are currently awaiting autopsy reports and have not yet ruled out the possibility of foul play. The article reads, Alex Sharkey, 26, was found dead in Houston on the 28th of November. Sharkey's death has made for shocking headlines. She was found naked on the side of the road, had been married for just under a year, and was a budding Instagram influencer. Interest in the sensational case has been clear. Sharkey had roughly 20,000 followers at the time of her death, according to data from Social Blade, a social media analytics website. As of Friday afternoon, Sharkey's Instagram account has more than 69,000 followers. The Houston Police Department is awaiting the results of an autopsy before investigating the circumstances of Sharkey's death. A representative for the Harris County Institute of Forensic Scientists, which is conducting the autopsy, told Insider that the office had not yet completed it. Sharkey's mother, Stacey Robinot, told Insider in a previous interview that she believed her daughter was murdered. I believe solely that she was murdered because of the manner in which her body was left, Robinot said. It just drives deep into the soul that something very malicious happened here, and I want to get to the bottom of it. As the world awaits answers in Sharkey's death, here is a timeline of what we know about her disappearance, death, and discovery. Before her death, Sharkey spent Thanksgiving with her friends. The day before Sharkey went missing on the 27th of November, she celebrated Thanksgiving in Houston with her friends, the Daily Beast reported. Sharkey had been working as a contractor with a hair and skin brand that employs multi-level marketing practices. Robinot told Insider that her daughter loved selling the products. A spokesperson for the company told Insider in a statement that Sharkey was a warm, wonderful and beloved independent market partner. We are saddened by her tragic death and our thoughts are with her family and friends who loved her. Sharkey's family learned that she was missing the day after Thanksgiving. Sharkey's mother, Stacey Robinot, told ABC 13 that she learned of her daughter's disappearance from Sharkey's husband, who called the Saturday following Thanksgiving to let them know that she was missing, and he hadn't heard from her since Friday. On the 28th of November, Robinot posted on Facebook that her daughter was missing and hadn't been heard from in over 24 hours, saying that police were involved and that Alexis had been last seen in the Houston area. Sharkey's mother previously told Insider that she hadn't seen her daughter since last Christmas due to travel restrictions. Sharkey had planned to return home to her parents' house in Pennsylvania for Thanksgiving this year, but with the world house arrest and the biggest transfer of wealth in history, decided against it. Okay, so there's a chance that I didn't read that line verbatim. Her mother said, "We were even going to get together over the weekend of Thanksgiving." Over the weekend of Thanksgiving is when she was killed, and so that's extremely heartbreaking as well. A body was found on the side of the road in Houston on Saturday morning. In the morning of Saturday the 28th of November, a sanitation worker saw something strange on the side of the road, so he called his boss for help. The boss told local outlet KHOU that his employee said he thought he saw a body or a mannequin and that the employee was scared. He said he immediately called 911 after coming upon Sharkey's body, which was nude and had no visible injuries, police said. "It plays back in my head," the boss told KHOU, of discovering Sharkey's nude body. "It's been playing back in my head every day."
1 week ago, the body of 26-year-old Alexis Sharkey was found. Janelle Buddha spoke with the city employee who found her body and the mother who's desperate for answers.
For John Richardson, it's a Saturday morning he'll never forget.
It plays back in my head. You know, it's been playing back in my head every day.
He was at work for the City of Houston Solid Waste when Richardson says he got a call from an employee.
He said he thought he seen a body or a mannequin, so he wasn't for sure. He wasn't going to stop because he was kind of, he was scared or whatever case may be. So he asked me to come out there and check it out.
So as his supervisor, Richardson went to check it out and still can't believe what they found.
So as we was driving, we could see the feet, so we got out and looked, and there it was. She was laying there, deceased. She was no clothes on, and I just got on the phone and I called 911.
What Richardson didn't realize at the time, the body he had just discovered was 26-year-old Alexis Sharkey.
She was a beautiful, fun ray of light to be around, and I can't understand it.
Her mom, Stacey Robinot, spoke to us by phone.
I think that's why it's so surreal for the family, because we cannot grasp on why harm would be done to her.
Saying even though it's been agonizing,
We're just trapped in the waiting.
They're just waiting for police to do their work.
I talk to the detectives every day, and they assure me that they are, working along and that they are reviewing and talking to people. And so I know that they're working along. To me, 5 days feels like an eternity, and to them, I'm sure they're just, getting rolling.
Police still have not determined a cause of death in the case, but in her heart, Robinot fully believes someone did this to her daughter.
I guess my question would be why? Why would you do something so horrific to her? What was the ultimate gain? What was gained from that? Because all I know is tremendous loss.
In Houston, Janelle Blue, KHOU 11 News.
The body was identified as Sharkey by her husband Tom. The Houston Police Department said in a press release that they identified the body as Sharkey on the 30th of November. The woman was identified as Alexis Robinot, Sharkey's legal name, as she used her husband's last name, Sharkey, professionally. Sharkey's husband Tom Sharkey told ABC 13 that he was the one to identify her body. Everybody was still looking for her, and I located her Sunday morning in the coroner's office. They couldn't ID my wife. They didn't know who she was. She was just there, he told ABC 13. After the news of Sharkey's death came out, reports about her relationship with her husband began to circulate. Multiple friends of Sharkey's, some of them anonymous, told the Daily Beast that Sharkey's relationship with her husband was troubled. One friend claimed that the two were going through a divorce and that Sharkey had claimed that her husband had been putting hands on her. I know they were going through some things, her friend Kendra Martin told the Daily Beast. She had mentioned being separated, even though they were still living in the same apartment. I actually pulled her aside 2 weeks ago to let her know I'm here for her, and that I know something is going on because her demeanour had changed in the last month. Tom Sharkey did not respond to Insider's request for comment, but told ABC 13 in an interview that he was receiving death threats, as people on social media speculated that he had something to do with his wife's death. She understood me, I understood her. We didn't fight when she left, he said of the night she went missing, and suggested that Sharkey was intoxicated. I just told her she couldn't drive under the influence. He told ABC 13 that he and Alexis had a happy marriage, saying that they weren't filing for divorce. Robinette, Sharkey's mother, told Fox News that she was not aware of any marital problems in her daughter's relationship.
Learning more about the life of social media influencer Alexis Sharkey as we wait to hear from investigators about how she died. Her body was found in West Houston over the weekend. Before moving to Houston, Alexis lived in Odessa, Texas, where she met her husband. Janelle Bluda talks to a friend who says she helped introduce the couple.
I ended up being her trainer at Twins.
They started as co-workers.
We kind of clicked, and it turned out to us hanging out all the time.
But soon became much more.
She was very open, very sweet and caring.
Before Alexis Sharkey moved to Houston, she lived in Odessa, where she worked at the restaurant Twin Peaks.
Days off, we were laying out tanning. Then we get ready, go out, have some fun.
Alexis's friend and former co-worker, who asked us not to identify her, says they were instant friends.
At the time, her and her ex-fiance were not doing so good. So I kind of stepped in, helped her get out of that.
She says it was her who helped introduce Alexis to her husband, Tom.
He was one of our regulars. He would come in, talk to us, make us laugh. They clicked. And just watching them click, and they're laughing, they're smiling, and I was like, all right.
Alexis eventually moved, but the two kept in touch, and she followed Alexis's journey and success on social media.
I was proud of her. She went out there and she did something where she could still travel and see the world, all while influencing other people's lives.
But when she heard the news of Alexis's tragic death,
like, it's not okay what happened to her. It's not.
Her heart stopped.
I've never met anyone with the purest soul until I met her.
And now she, like so many others, just wants to know what happened.
I hope her family gets what they need.
And what they need is answers, which is what they hope to get once the autopsy is complete. We're still waiting to hear when that will happen. Lynn?
Foul play has not been ruled out, but Houston police are awaiting the autopsy results. The Harris County Institute of Forensic Scientists has not completed the autopsy. A representative for the office told Insider on Thursday that they could not share a timeline of when the autopsy might be completed. The office previously told People that it had not ruled out the possibility of foul play. Houston police were awaiting the autopsy report before continuing their investigation into Sharkey's death, a representative previously told Insider. Robinette, Sharkey's mother, told Insider that waiting for answers in Sharkey's death has been excruciating because you're just so desperate for a chance to have some closure and some finality and justice to it.
Well, an Instagram star found dead in Texas. Police say her body was found naked but with no signs of injuries. Now, Alexis Sharkey's mother is speaking out, saying her daughter was the victim of foul play. Christina Coleman is live for us in Los Angeles. Christina, what did Alexis' mother say about the last time she spoke with her daughter?
Hi, Trace. Well, Alexis Sharkey's mother says the last time she talked to her daughter was Thanksgiving Day. She says she sounded lighthearted. Her mother is desperate for answers.
It's just so painful for someone so bright and having so much to offer just to be gone, snuffed out. And I don't know why.
A dump truck driver spotted Sharkey's body in a ditch off a road that's pretty easy to miss just off I-10 West in Houston Saturday morning. Surveillance video showed a car near the ditch. The video now part of the investigation. Also a big question right now. Did Sharkey's job as a social media influencer play a role in her death? She shared a lot of details about herself, from her personal life to her skincare routine to pics of her husband on social media.
In this particular instance, with 20,000 plus followers, I mean, those people all potentially could be, they could have some sort of, I don't know, axe to grind or something with this person.
As for Sharkey's husband, Tom, he says his marriage to Alexis was strong, and when she was stressed, he would comfort her. But now he says he's receiving death threats. As for her friends, they tell reporters their marriage was on the rocks. One of her friends say her boyfriend spoke with Sharkey's husband hours before her body was found.
11 p.m. is when my boyfriend, John, called Tom and said, "What's going on, Tom?" And he said, me and Lex got into an argument. She left. I don't know where she went. Can you just please let me know if you know anything?
So a lot of unanswered questions here. Now, police have not identified a person of interest at this time. They continue to speak with Sharkey's family and friends as part of this investigation. Trace?
Christina Coleman live in Los Angeles. Christina, thank you.
Check back for updates and developments on this case. Thanks for watching. If you got this far, I actually love you. If you enjoyed the content, give it a thumbs up. If you want to support this channel, smash that subscribe button now. What are you waiting for? A massive thank you to the people who have kindly supported my channel, the official ReeTV supporters who sponsor this content. You guys are awesome. Peace. You've been watching ReeTV Headlines.